My mother, on the advice of my housemaster, sent me to a language crammer in Briton for specialist training in order to ensure that I passed the vital A-level exams needed to enter Sandhurst and obtain a regular commission in the army. I chose languages because there was no chance at all of my obtaining A-levels in any other subject. I had been taught French by David Cornwell, who later wrote spy novels under the name of John le Carré. My chief ambition out of several was still to emulate my father and become commanding officer of the Royal Scots Greys Cavalry Regiment, the position that he had held when he was killed in Italy in the war. Aged 18, my long-time calf-love for Ginny was thwarted by her father's belief that I was too wild for his daughter, and he issued me with a court banning order. This served only to encourage a growing love affair over our teenage years. Meanwhile, my time at the Briton Language School coincided with the height, literally, of the miniskirt fashion era, so that I found concentration in the mixed-sex language classes to be impossible, and I failed my A-levels twice. Additionally, my previous fascination with explosives was rekindled by a nocturnal raid by fellow students on a local girls' boarding school, after which I was prosecuted in court for malicious damage caused by a smoke bomb. This was reported in the national newspapers and further set Ginny's father against me. By then, I was the proud possessor of a Vespa scooter, on which I would scoot from Brighton by night to visit Ginny in the fourth-floor attic room of her boarding school in nearby Eastbourne. Once it had become clear that I would never gain an A-level, it was decided that I should try for a short-service commission at Mons Cadet School, a poor alternative to Sandhurst, but better than nothing. At Mons I met a fellow building climber, and under his guidance one night scaled the west wing wall of Heathfield Girls' School, where we were unfortunately caught by the police. My friend, who had hit out when apprehended, was removed from Mons, whereas I, who had avoided physical contact with our captors, was merely awarded a restriction of privileges for 56 days, which involved 2 hours in uniform and standing to attention every evening outside the guard room when all other cadets had local leave. My platoon sergeant informed me, in what I thought was a tone of slight respect, that I had chalked up the record number of restrictions of privileges since Mons was first formed. In the spring of 1962, I was passed out by Her Majesty as a second lieutenant in the Royal Scots Greys. With a friend who passed into the regiment from Mons at the same time, I planned to spend the month's leave before joining the Scots Greys in Germany, crossing the Anatolian Desert in Turkey by camel. Unfortunately, the Minister of Defence heard of our intentions, and due to the political climate in Anatolia, forbade us to go. We quickly switched from Anatolia to the Pyrenees, and from camels to a mule and cart, a first taste of expeditioning. This was followed by courses in tank maintenance and gunnery, learning how to destroy Soviet tanks a mile away. That Christmas there was a spectacular blizzard, and more snow was recorded throughout England than in any year since 1881. In the new year, my tank training complete, I said goodbye to my family and to Ginny and joined the regiment in Germany to help defend Western Europe against the fairly likely event of invasion by the massed armoured regiments of the Warsaw Pact. Each of our tank squadrons had 4 troops of 3 tanks. 3 of these troops had 50-ton Centurion tanks, and the 4th crewed 70-ton Conquerors, which could only fire their great 120mm shells when halted. I was given a Conqueror troop, and we referred to the Centurions as bubble cars. I grew to love my tanks, my crew members, the vast majority of whom were from Scotland,